Hello, welcome back to the running experiment. My name's Ryan. Today I've got a very interesting video. We're going to be talking about nutrition and more importantly, exactly what I eat, starting from breakfast, then lunch, and then dinner. And then I'll also include all the snacks that I have throughout the day. Later on in the video, I'll include a little segment where I talk about why I eat the foods that I eat and my approach to nutrition and the sort of thought process that goes on behind those choices that I make. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's super interesting. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so to start with, I keep it really simple. The first thing I do every morning is have a glass of water. There's no better way to start your day than getting hydrated and having a glass of water. After I've had a bit of water, I'll typically refill my glass and obviously have more water with my breakfast, but then I like to make myself a cup of coffee. I absolutely love coffee, so I'll make myself a cup of coffee and then I can leave that coffee to cool down whilst I'm having my breakfast. If you're gonna have coffee, please use whole coffee beans just because they taste 1,000 times better than instant coffee. So, while my coffee is cooling down, I will then begin to prepare and make my breakfast. Today I decided I would go for oatmeal with full fat milk, and then I also added some chia seeds into the oatmeal just for the texture and the healthy fats. I don't weigh out any of the ingredients that I use, I do it all by eye. Trigger warning, I do use a microwave, and I use the microwave quite often throughout the day. It's a good tool of convenience for me. It saves the amount of pots that I have to wash up, and it's also faster than using the hob. As you can see there, I've just added a little bit of Nutella onto my porridge. I did this because I absolutely love Nutella. I know it's not good for me, but it tastes delicious. So, quick overview of my breakfast. Oatmeal with full fat milk, chia seeds, and Nutella, a banana, a glass of water, and a black coffee. Once I finish my breakfast, I then like to sit down for half an hour, have my coffee, and read a book. So I used to look at the fat, salt and sugar content of food, but that's kind of changing now. I don't necessarily look at the individual nutrients. What I look at now is which Nova category the food items are in. Okay, so what are the Nova food classifications? The Nova food classifications or groupings is a way of grouping foods into one of four categories based on the extent and the purpose of the processing that has taken place with that food. This system or framework of thinking about food was invented by a Brazilian scientist called Carlos Augusto Monteiro in 2009 alongside his research team. Now, I want you to pay particular attention to one group specifically, Group 4. Ultra processed foods. In recent years, a lot of evidence has come out that suggests that it's not actually the individual nutrients inside of the food that has negative health effects, but it's actually the way that the foods are processed. But it's so scary to think that there are so many foods out there that people truly believe are healthy for them, that actually fall in that ultra processed foods category. So I'll put on screen now just a couple of foods that are commonly associated with good health that are actually probably very bad for you and that fall under that ultra processed food category. But just increasing the amount of ultra processed food you eat by as little as 10% has such a dramatic effect on the likelihood of developing diseases like dementia, obesity, cardiovascular disease, and there's also strong correlations with ultra processed food consumption and all-cause mortality. I could talk about this all day, however, let's move on with the video and let's have a look what I decided to have for lunch. So, what I'm having is chili with obviously mixed beans, mince, and red and green peppers in it. It's got lentils in it as well. I'm having a cup of nuts, some carrots and asparagus and brown rice, and then I'll put a little bit of cheese on top of the chili. I'm also going to have a coffee as well. So just a little time lapse here of me preparing my food. It's worth noting that a lot of the foods that I eat regularly, I tend to meal prep them to save time and store them in the freezer, and then the day before I eat that food I'll get it out of the freezer and put it in the fridge like I've done with the chili here. Okay, I'm gonna take my food into the living room and then I will show you the finished product. This is the finished product. We've got chili filled with lentils and mixed beans, red and green peppers, some asparagus, some carrots served on brown rice. Got a brown pita bread with the cheese that I'm about to put on my chili. water, coffee, and then finally some nuts for a snack afterwards. Okay, so that is my first training session of the day done. I'm gonna have my second coffee. I'm gonna spin it round.
That's what you look like right now. That's what you're doing.
No, I'm doing it cooler than you. So yeah, I've just had my lunch. Gonna finish off those nuts, chill for a bit, and then at about 5 o'clock I'm gonna go to the gym and do about 40-45 minutes on the cross trainer, a bit more zone 2. Just making the most of this in between jobs, so I've got loads of free time to get a bit of extra training in, and it gives me something to do. It stops me being a dosser. Well,
You still manage.
Somehow I'm still a dosser, but yeah. So that is my training all done today. I just did 40 minutes on the cross trainer. I've got back, I've showered and washed the pots, so now I'm just going to cook up my final meal of the day. We've got 2 salmon fillets here, sweet chilli infused salmon. I'm going to cook that on the steamer. Mixed frozen vegetables. Now we're going to have that with noodles, and I'm going to have a little bit of grated feta on my noodles. Okay, again, I'm just going to show you a little time-lapse footage of me preparing my food, and then we'll have a look at the finished product.
Left my chin.
Right, me and Megan are now about to have our meal, last meal of the day. We usually don't eat lunch and breakfast together, but we always try to eat tea together, so I'm going to show everyone what we've got.
It's very strange.
Right, so we got steamed salmon and noodles and steamed garden mixed vegetables. And then we just randomly had some feta cheese left in the fridge, so we grated that. And then I've also gone for 2 slices of bread with butter. Very small slices, but that's basically what we're having. That's the end of this video. I'm gonna have an apple as well for my dessert. But I hope people, oh yeah, 6-pack baby. I hope people enjoyed that video. It might hopefully be interesting for someone, or potentially inspiring for people to maybe choose better options. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next video.